Hello everybody, this is Jeff Janess and welcome to our fourth lab exercise on geoprocessing tools. We're going to look at the buffer tool in this exercise. And just as a heads up, ArcGIS Pro actually has two versions of the buffer tool. They have one called the pairwise tool and the other one's just the standard buffer tool. Pairwise is named pairwise because it uses parallel processing. It has nothing to do with pairwise in the sense of pairing up data. So just heads up on that. I kind of prefer the standard buffer tool just because the pairwise tool produces some data that I don't really trust sometimes. It has these true arcs. And I explain why I don't really trust this method in the introductory text at the beginning of the lab exercise. So read that over if you're interested. The pairwise tool does have an advantage that it runs a lot faster, but we're not doing such a complicated thing right now. It's going to make that much of a difference. So I'm going to stick with the standard buffer tool in this exercise. If you really want to try the pairwise tool, please feel free. I encourage you to try new tools whenever you'd like. Okay, let's get started on the exercise. First, let's confirm that our default geodatabase is still the one that we created in lab exercise 1, and I see it is because of the little house picture. Let's make a new map. We're going to insert the Coconino National Forest motor vehicle use map roads. They're in the additional data folder. We're going to load it in the layer file instead of the actual pure data set. The layer file loads the data pre-symbolized the way we'd like. Okay, we're going to buffer two sets of rows here. And part of this exercise will show you that when you make a selection on features, then the tool only operates on that selected set. So first thing, we're going to select the roads that are classified as roads open to all vehicles year-long. That's this class right here. So select by attribute should be pretty familiar to you. New selection where symbol lookup, you can tell it's symbol lookup because it's right here. Symbol lookup is equal to roads open to all vehicles year-long. There it is. We can see it in SQL. Sure enough, looks good. Hit OK. And all the green ones became selected. All right, we have 1,529 roads selected. We can confirm that by clicking the little selection thing. There we go. Okay, let's open up the buffer tool. It's in the analysis. Go to tools. The buffer tool is located in the analysis tools and the proximity toolbox. So here it is. Open it up. You notice that when you open up the buffer tool, they want you to use the pairwise tool. That's an option if you choose it. Okay, let's fill out the tool parameters. First off, we want the input features to be the motor vehicle use map roads. A couple of ways I can get there. I take this and I can just drag it in. I can hit the down arrow and see the feature classes that are loaded in the map. I can just pick it, and I'll just do that. Don't use this option. Don't use the option to browse. If we went out here and we could find the data, it's in that additional data, right? We could grab this layer file. We could go right into the geodatabase and grab it. Don't do that. If you do that, you're accessing the actual source data, but we are interested in this selection that's on the data. The selection only exists in the layer. We grab the data out of the geodatabase, it wouldn't know that there was any selection done on it, so we need to make sure we're picking the layer. Like I said, the down arrow or drag the layer in. Either one would work. All right, the output feature, we're going to name it all vehicles year-long because this is the roads open to all vehicles year-long. So we're going to name this according to that name. So there it is. Let's confirm it's going into our default. This is good because you're going to have to turn this in. Okay, the distance is going to be 1 US mile, US survey mile. The side type is full. That means it's going to buffer on both sides of the line. The end type is round. That means it's going to make a round end at the ends of these roads. And the method is going to be geodesic because that's the most accurate. And then we're going to dissolve them all into a single polygon that represents all buffers, and that's this option here. Okay, we hit go. All right, and there we go. See, all our selected rows are buffered. I'm going to clear the selection here. And notice that there are no buffers around a lot of these roads. Zoom in. So this road here didn't get buffered because it's not a open to all vehicles year-long road. Same with these. Only the green rows got buffered. This is an example of the selection making a difference. All right. Now we're going to select another set of roads. We're going to select the open to highway legal vehicles only year-long. That would be this attribute here. So let's open up the select by attributes again. It's already set up mostly, but we just need to change it to the highway legal year-long. Hit OK. Have a new set of roads selected. Fire up the buffer tool again, and this time we're going to do it at a 1/4 mile, and we're going to name it highway legal year-long. All right, analysis, tools, buffer. Notice that it even tells us how many records are selected in the tool. This is good. All right, we're going to call it highway legal year-long. It's going into our proper geodatabase. Distance is a 1/4 U.S. survey miles. We still like full, we still like round. Method needs to be changed to geodesic, and the dissolve needs to be changed to dissolve all. Hit run, goes to work. Okay, let's clear our selection. And now we have this new smaller buffer, 1/4 mile buffer, just around those orange roads. So all is looking well. All right, and that's all there is to it. Thanks so much.